my friend.
Oi.
Oi, you.
All right. Yeah, so we had a week break from the game just because I was helping move, but we should be back on schedule for that. I'm ready to hop in, start the game out.
Yeah.
Or we can sit 5-10 more minutes. I mean, I'm not stressing it. That's not the overabundant yes I was prepared for. There we
I am
go.
prepared.
I want to speak to this volcano.
There we go. That's what I was looking for. All right. So last session, the group of you traveled from Bravo's hometown further into the forest to meet with his mentor, a Dr. Marseille d'Or, or Marseille of the Ors. After meeting him and finding some new renovations within his home, he seemed intent on using a machine to sort of project his thoughts on matters and answering various queries of the party, was able to come across some information, including perhaps the depth of power of the orb that Geo has acquired. When activated, ripping a great tear in the sky and a number of massive tentacles starting to rend and pull itself through. Afterwards, the group were led to chambers that you were told housed students back when he still was interested in mentoring. And with Bravo's request to try to commune with the island itself, the volcano at its heart, everyone split off, aside from Geo and Syl, who had a slightly unclothed, intense moment of sharing in which Geo showed this large sort of clump of matter with this great yellow eye on it, multiple tendrils, and sort of lamprey-esque mouth. Still taking it surprisingly well, bid him good night, and where last we left, Bravo had slipped into a deep trance-like state in which you sort of awaken after finding yourself moved deeper and deeper into the island within your own mind. You awaken on a stone canoe of some kind, and sort of off towards the distance see these two great red eyes. And that is where we will bring back to the game. So, Bravo, this canoe is flowing slowly with this molten river of magma. It seems to be sort of moving past. It's hot, but not unbearably so. Not as much as you would think if you were actually in this vicinity to magma.
I'm going towards the eyes.
You are traveling in the direction of the eyes. It's hard to make out much more. The eyes themselves do give off a glow, but don't reveal any portion of whatever this creature or entity is.
Right. I will greet it in primordial and very respectfully, with the utmost respect.
Okay, what do you say in primordial?
It is my honor to come before you. I would like to come closer to you and commune, as well as enjoy your good graces, if I am permitted.
As you say this, sort of the eyes light up and flash a little bit. In form, they are much closer to like a reptilian eye as far as shape, and the iris itself is just like this piercing yellow slit. But you're getting a hard time sort of spacing if the eyes are like 2 feet apart or 20 feet apart, until as you say this whole shape starts to shift down further towards you. And as it gets closer and closer, you're like, the eyes aren't 10 feet or 20, they're like 40, maybe 50 feet apart. As just this slowly dark-colored entity starts to move its way over the lava until it is probably 30 feet from you. It would unleash this sort of deep breath that would go out past you, sort of blasting your hair back. It's not foul smelling, but it is particularly warm. But a voice would accompany this. It comes to rest, a shadow long cast over the lands. To the east it sits, gnashing its metal teeth, its hunger devouring tree and beast alike. Is this the distress that possesses you to seek counsel from the heart of the island?
It is one of many things which bother me, as well as the desire to become more powerful and closer to it in general. Even without no crisis at all, I would seek from you.
To what end do you approach the king of the mountain?
To better understand how I could champion the island as well as its people, and also to understand the world better, particularly the island. I hold great loyalty and love for the island, and things I love, I attempt to understand.
There would be a moment, and then the eyes would start to sort of rescind further into this cavern. As it does, various sort of pools of lava form on sort of separate areas. Nothing like gouts or gushing, but you can start to see sort of the light of lava from deep below starting to flow upwards. Ask your questions, son of island.
There are various supernatural hazards upon the ocean these days. They worry me. Their appearance seems to herald changes that risk perhaps the success of the island. What does the king wish about this crimson scourge?
Theft outside of my borders does not concern me. If they were to enter my waters, a fiery grave.
Of course. What does the king wish of me then, as I am far away and frequently not within the borders, but I am still a loyal servant of the island.
As you say this, sort of off in your periphery, you see these creatures sort of not burst out, but sort of climb themselves out of these tubes. Their skin is like magma itself, sort of red hot and glowing. But 3 or 4 of them pull themselves out and go to one side and start to stack rocks. But the eyes would lean in once further. Your destiny is your own, son of the island.
That may be true, but I could perhaps seek to understand you better if I could, just for perhaps a moment or this exact, a temporary time, maybe earn a closer relationship with the king. It seems as if someday I may perhaps aspire to shamanism, like my teacher. But could I study the volcano, travel to it, to try and earn its understanding, perhaps?
As you say this, you can sort of see veins of fire start to move across this creature's head, maybe? And it leans down into you. To know something else thoroughly, you must know yourself first. In the same way I have found succumbing to rage brings naught but death to those that I love. You too must know yourself. Once again, sort of flow back. Off to your periphery, the stone stacks seems to be two piles that sort of start to arch towards the middle.
I'll approach the piles if I can.
Okay. You see, most of these stones are not like sort of roughly made. They seem to be almost hewn from the stone. They have smoother edges, um, and each one just sort of has a primordial symbol in them. But these creatures seem to be stacking them to make almost like a doorway of some kind.
I I have a piece of the volcano which I carry with me. I would be interested in perhaps being allowed to travel to its slopes and expand this piece, as I do not know when next I will be able to have such an opportunity again. Would that be allowable?
Uh, would this creature sort of seems to shift and move at this. This time leaning all the way over this river of lava to where you're sort of off to the far wall. Do what you wish with the rock. But for now, you are needed. And as they say, this sort of a red slit would open up on this doorway and open, revealing just sort of this like mucusy red flowing inside of it.
I'll walk in. Why not?
Okay. So as you walk in, it goes from sort of hot on your back to starting to feel sort of a cool breeze. But with that, we will jump. Syl,
Mm.
you have not the hardest time falling to sleep. It's been a day of trekking, and you always find that that's fairly easy to sort of calm yourself, and the tiredness catches you pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Um, as you sort of drift off, far off the sound of music, and before long, you awaken at the summer festival, the one that used to be
Mm.
thrown at outside of Sin City's limits.
Yes.
Number of wondrous performers all sort of moving about. Um, this is, of course, several years back. So you are, looking at your own hands, you are younger. Um, what are you doing?
Um, I think right now this is I think that I'm with my brother.
Okay.
Um, just checking out some food stalls at the moment. Listening to the music, looking over my shoulder every so often, trying to catch a glimpse of whoever's performing at the time.
Okay. Yeah. So looking around, you can see that there's sort of a main stage off to one side. And on
Hmm.
this main stage, you would see Phileas Rosewood, sort of in all his glory, sort of playing out to all the people that are there. Um,
Hmm.
Sort of looking at their faces, you can see that even though their lives may be difficult, and certainly life in Sin City is,
Hmm.
sort of for that brief moment, all of their faces don't convey that. They all sort of have a look upon them of sort of glee and giddy, and you remember the effect that that had on you the first time you saw it. That even though these people may experience hardship for tonight, they don't remember that.
Oh yeah, I remember. I remember. It was like it was enough joy to last for a year for me. It was like the kind of thing I always had that to look forward to. And so I guess I pulled my brother over to go watch Phileas Rosewood.
Okay. So you're able to get towards sort of the back of the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
He seems to be playing a lot of just various upbeat pieces, tending to shy away from some of the perhaps more sorrowful tunes that he knows. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Give me a perception check as you sort of stand towards the back of this crowd.
Yeah. Perception, I think. Yes, indeed, it is nothing. Perception is nothing. So let's find it. Let's see what my raw roll is. 1 to 20. Go. That's a 10. Perfectly average.
Perfectly average, as all things should be. So you look
Mhm.
at the stage. You can tell that his instrument is quite gaudy. You're not. It's hard to really define
Mm-hmm.
it, but you can tell that like the strings are not just made of the average sort of metallic material. There's some shine to them, as well as the instrument itself seems to have some sort of overall tuning up to it. Um, but what you wouldn't hear approaching, you would sort of feel a hand on your shoulder. Just gets
Uh,
set.
sorry, what did you say?
So you're kind of enthralled with this piece, and you don't hear the
Yeah.
footsteps approaching as sort of a large hand gets set upon your shoulder.
Um, um, what did we settle on for my brother's name? Fuck.
Um, I have two names here. One of them is Rovain, and one of them is Chromaris.
I think it must be Rovain.
Sounds good.
Alright. So goes, hey, Rovain, what do you think of this set? And I turn around to see, expecting to see my brother's hand on my shoulder, but it is not my brother.
Yeah, so you look over and you can see that he's also enthralled with the piece, but he is not sort of standing behind you. And sort of behind you in this really clean, tailored suit, hair slicked back, would be your father. Sort of hands on the shoulders, strong grip. Frivolity's good for business, son.
Yeah, so it is. And I pull some stuff out of my pocket that I guess I've been pickpocketing throughout the day. Kind of hand it over to him.
He would sort of look it over. You can see kind of close cunning that you know already that he has assessed the value of exactly what you've given him, even though it's been a split second. And he would sort of
Mhm.
slip it into a pocket. Don't get distracted. You know what you're here for. Tourism. They come with their cash and their gold, their valuables. Sin City's tax that they leave with a couple less.
That's true. That's true, and so a few lucky people might even manage to get a meeting with you.
There's like,
Right,
he
Em?
sort of cracks his thick knuckles. Kind of meaty cracks. Let's hope not. Most of my meetings will be delegated to Thatcher. He seems to enjoy this sort of thing.
Yes. Indeed. I meant more big fish.
No big fish tonight.
All right.
Now look out at these faces. What do you see on them?
Hope, joy, easy marks.
Now, what do you think it would be if there was not a festival? Do you think any of these people would dare enter city limits?
Probably not. Not
They,
most of them, anyway. There's always a few people find their way in.
they look down on you, boy, as they look down on anyone from this city. And you are at the top of this city's food chain. What do you think they think of our poor, our weak, our tired?
Probably laugh at them. Well, we'll have the last laugh.
That we will. They'll find that when they come with upturned noses and scoff at our city, they find themselves light of coin. Maybe if they spent a week on the streets of Sin City, they might understand what it is to be one of us. It's always good to keep that in mind. You and them are not the same. They think of you as scum. Keep that in mind as you continue your work.
I will, Father.
Goes for you too. You would say, sort of pushing your brother's shoulder a little bit before walking off and sort of vanishing to a crowd very quickly.
Mhm. All right, Rovan, we gotta step it up. Yeah, Dad noticed. Dad knew. Dad knew that we had been sort of slacking off. We gotta keep our nose to the grindstone here.
Oh, okay. Hey, I saw this tent. I think it might be unguarded.
Yeah, let's go get it. Let's go check.
Okay. And he would start to sort of make his way off in front of you. He's much thinner and much more sort of nimble's not the word for it, but he is much more easily able to move throughout places. Because though you are not a giant among the men, he is always just was been a little more frail than you, a little smaller than you.
Yeah.
But he makes his way over, and there's sort of this big top-esque tent, sort of set out off to the side. You can see a bit of a glow from within.
I go in.
Okay.
Or I guess I stealthily go in.
You sort of stealthily creep in. Your brother, I'll keep watch. Sort of turns around, pulls an
Yeah.
apple out of nowhere, and starts eating it casually.
Hmm.
But you creep in, and as you sort of enter through the tent, you hear kind of a weird sound of like stretching fabric behind you.
I spin and pull my rapier.
Yes, you spin and sort of pull your rapier out, and the tent wall is solid behind you now. But further on, you can see the glow's coming from somewhere.
I'm sort of creeping in towards the light.
Yes, so sort of creep through. You end up taking a number of turns to sort of reach this, which is odd because you were once again in sort of a circular tent.
Right.
But as you turn the last corner, you see sort of carved into the tent this opening. And within it, there is this golden, flowing, viscous liquid that seems to just sort of sit there on the door frame.
I go up and I put my hand in it.
Yeah, you put your hand on it and it sort of starts to pass through in front of you. You can feel your fingers on the other side. There's a bit of a breeze.
And I push through, my curiosity getting the better of me.
Okay, you go to push through, and we will go to Grimace. Grimace, as you sort of drift off to sleep, you're not ever really comfortable or,
Right.
you're never single-mindedly on sleep. You've already set up various things throughout this room just in case someone attempts the windows or the door. Even you've got the table tied up. You're not sure why, but you thought, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and take care of that just in case.
Yeah.
But as you start to sort of get into a more meditative rest, you would feel sort of a brief rush of wind as you are now standing in a incredibly large chamber. The floor itself seems to be liquid, water of some kind, but you seem to have no trouble standing upon it. And jutting out at like exact measures are these large, sort of basalt, sharp spire pillars that seem to hold up this cave-like ceiling. Beneath you see the water stretches for some distance, but once again, you were sort of standing on the surface of the water.
All right. I do a double take to like look around, be certain. So I'm inside like a structure that those pillars are holding up.
Yeah, like you would imagine. Make a perception check just to sort of see how good of a picture you get, but you'll get some things regardless of how well you do. 22 is pretty good. So you imagine this chamber is kind of like gumdrop shaped, but the water itself is settling at such a height that you are, you're at the white part of the candy corn, so to speak. You're near the top of this chamber because you're
Alright.
standing upon the water itself. Deep beneath, you can see these pillars extend down further and further. And you can even see that the chamber opens up, and like if you were to swim 300 feet down, you could make your way to wherever this chamber sort of is led through. But as you look around, you can see off to the center of this chamber, there is a large stone chair that is backward facing. You're sort of behind it. And a bit of a glow is given off by this chair.
I would walk forward, or I would try to walk. So if it's at the center, I would try to walk along the edge around to see before I get in front of it. Like put some distance between me and the chair,
Okay.
and be off to the side of it.
Are you trying to do this stealthily?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and roll your stealth check as you sort of creep down and start making your way through. It's not the stealthiest that you've ever been. With a 9, you're a little unstable as far as your footing on the water, and each step you give gives off a bit of a ripple on this sort of deadly calm water you're walking on. But you're able to creep your way around till you're like, the exact 90 degrees away from the chair towards the edge of the chamber.
Right.
The pillars are kind of obstructing your view at this angle. You'd have to continue further, but the pillars are sort of in line with this seat, this throne.
All right. I walk a little bit further to see it directly.
Okay. Yeah, so you scoot a little further, and with the 22 I'll give you, there is like a skeleton of some sort, just sort of dead on the throne. It is cloaked, and the cloak itself seems to be giving off a bit of a glow, but some sort of skeletal figures perched on the throne.
All right, then I would approach it slowly
Okay.
with a dagger drawn, just very, very cautiously, and almost like try to inspect him, like use the tip of the dagger to like lift or like to like nudge maybe the skeleton a little bit.
Okay. So you move forward towards it, creeping out, pulling a dagger from your belt. You can see that there's like various sort of gaudy rings on the fingers of this skeleton. You can even see like some of the teeth themselves have been replaced with like gold equivalents. Um, but you creep up further, and where are you trying to get the dagger to sort of poke?
Hmm. Is there like any clothing on the skeleton?
Yeah, it seems to be wearing a cloak, and it has boots as well.
I would use it to like lift the cloak a bit, see if there was like if there was something out of sight.
Okay. So you sort of take the dagger, you go to push the cloak, and it's like, and just a bit of cloud of dark smoke sits where this skeleton once did. And you start to hear like a crackle behind you, kind of a occasionally pops and sparks.
All right, immediately turn around.
Okay,
Dagger drawn.
behind you, this skeleton figure stands. Its skull is now sort of ablaze with fire. But it would reach out a finger towards you. You who have started the path, are you prepared for the trials?
The path of what?
As you say this, it sort of shifts out of vanishes once again to this puff of smoke. You see it sort of appear on far away off onto the side of this chamber. Trials to become like me, one blessed with power.
Grimace would lower his dagger, like obviously intrigued. What will I have to do?
Get another. This time it's sort of up on the pillar, seemingly with ease, sort of hanging onto it with one hand. The trials will be apparent to you when they reach them. Complete these 3 trials and consider the blessing yours.
Does he stay there?
It seems for now, awaiting your response.
Where do I start?
This time, sort of rising out of the water in front of you. This skeleton figure would take a ring off of its finger as a token of good faith, sort of place it out in front of you.
Just slowly, he would hesitate for a moment, but then reach for it.
It would let you take it.
All right, takes the ring, inspects it.
I just sort of looking it over, it would take 3 fingers, and each one, like a little like symbol made in fire would appear, and it would reach towards you sort of lightning fast and place it upon your sternum. And you would see sort of each of these individual marks alight, and then they would fade. On completion, each will light. When all 3 are lit, my blessing is given.
Who are you? Why are you helping me?
You've been through much. And there would be sort of, this time when it disapparates, the voice would just sort of echo throughout this chamber. Steps in the right direction, I find, are helpful.
All right, then I'll look at the ring more. And am I
yeah.
able to identify anything with it? Like tell if there's markings or?
Looking at it, it's a gold ring that sort of has like a orange red inlaid jewel. Seems to have markings on it, though it's not abundantly clear what they mean. You catch a few of them are sort of thieves' cant, but not of like not from a time that you know them. Like there's like that symbol looks like a letter from thieves' cant, but boy howdy, that is not how you write that. You know, it's kind of got
Yeah.
like various different symbols that seem to be like an archaic form of thieves' cant.
I slip the ring on to see and wait to see if something happens.
Yeah, you slip it on, sort of take some time with it. Nothing like apparent happens, but after you've been with it for a little bit, you would see this sort of flaming skeletal figure far off to the side of one of the walls tap it once, and just this slit would appear in it, opening up into sort of this mucusy membrane, a portal to somewhere new.
First, we'll do a quick take, look back at the throne, uh, almost taking in this whole area, like implanting into his memory, because this is obviously something that will be of importance to him. So, and then after he looks around, he goes through the portal.
Okay, as you start to go through it, the skeleton will whisper one last thing to you: find the throne. As you sort of pass through this barrier into the next area. Um, Geo, you've been
Yes.
around Sin City enough that you sort of know the daily grind of it. Looking around, you can see the sort of different factions. You're able to spot them out on territory lines, muscling each other up, as well as sort of the various abundant different grifts or things going on. But for some reason, you just have an overwhelming desire to just get out of town, just for a little bit, take a walk.
Mm-hmm. I'll do so. To be specific, am I Giovanni or am I Dio?
Thinking about it, you're Dio.
Okay. Shoulders slouched a little bit, hands in my pockets. I'm taking a stroll.
Okay. You walk for a little bit. At some point, after you've exited this city limits and walked for a little bit, you're aware that there's nothing for miles and miles and miles, which sort of this isolation of the city is frequently what keeps people from being able to leave it. That it's an island of civilization amongst sort of a vast, unkempt wilderness. But after getting about 30 minutes outside the city, the air starts to smell a little more fresh, start to have a little more clear thoughts. Make a perception check.
Okay. Natural 20.
Natural 20. So you look up at the sky. You're not sure why. You're not one to ponder. But as you sort of glance up, you see just the briefest moment where some stars are obscured. And this like slight light would start to fall from the sky. As it starts to get closer and closer, it would gain brightness. And as it enters sort of a certain height, various sort of golden and red sort of lights would appear in the sky, fluctuating a borealis of some kind. As it grows closer and closer towards Sin City, you would see it start to crack and it would form into 8 separate pieces, sort of falling almost geometric with a bit of a spin to them. And you're like sort of absorbed by the look of it all.
Yeah, I'm like, ain't that a thing of beauty?
Yeah, and it's like, then there's the moment of, oh shit, that one's coming right at me.
Hit the deck.
Yeah, so sort
Just
of
like-
sprinting,
Just
diving.
like dive down to try not to.
Yeah, but you sort of dive, crouch, kind of expecting an impact, but none would follow.
Get up. Was there the sound of something crashing nearby, or it's like there's no impact?
No, as you like cover your head and sort of look back, there's a golden glow about chest level behind you, just sort of floating.
Hey, I'm not the leader, you know. Yeah, here to see the leader. I'm just a guy. Come in peace. Sort of like hold a hand up nervously towards it.
You sort of hold a hand up. It's hard to like denote a sphere of light's attitude, but with the natural 20, you kind of, it seems to regard your hand curiously as it sort of swivels around a little bit before it starts to sort of float up, sort of over your hand and past your arm.
Are you supposed to be, what, like an angel, like an alien? You know how to communicate. I'm called Theo.
As it sort of moves up your arm hair would stand up as it passes. Bit of a curiosity to you, and as it gets like up by your shoulder, by your ear, like just the slightest whisper comes from it. You could be great. And then there's like a searing pain as you feel whatever this is sort of latch onto you. Just sort of blinding, radiant pain.
Yep. Screaming, thrashing.
Okay. So it after probably 15 minutes, it still feels tender, but you don't feel as it's not as like burst of pain. And for some reason you're like, I haven't walked nearly far enough today. There's some place I need to go.
Just spring to his feet. Roll his neck a little bit.
You think the south sounds good. Something
Okay.
that way. Feeling it.
I take off in a run south. Just feeling free.
Yeah, you take off on the run south. At some point you're like, why am I wearing these shoes, man? I mean, they're restricting me.
I'll take him off.
Yeah. So you start running that way. After maybe 4 or 5 minutes of running, you would see another figure just sprinting through these woods. Just like hauling ass sprinting.
I'm gonna tackle him.
Okay. Yeah, make a athletics check for me.
I'm feeling wild and free.
Young and wild and free.
16.
Okay. Now roll a d7 for me, which is a traditional dice.
Forbidden dice. That's a 5.
The forbidden dice. Yeah, so you're sprinting and like you go and tackle this person and like you're able to like ba-doom, sort of run them down. You'd end up on top and looking down, you would see Seraph sort of laying there like, oh,
Like,
I see you.
Like Giovanni's whole world crashes. He's like, no, this is impossible.
Well, are you out for a stroll tonight as well?
You
Yes, no, I am as well. That's why I said as well.
You.
Come along, I don't think we're meant to dilly-dally here.
Just get up. I will beat you there. And then I'm gonna run south.
Okay. As you you see that he's keeping a fair pace behind you. But at a certain point, the forest starts to clear, and you see like these massive sort of stone ruins, almost Stonehenge-esque. That sort of these massive pillars are set about to create sort of 8 what's the word for them? 8 like massive doorways. And you could see already that a few of them have people in them standing.
I'm gonna run up to my door.
Okay. Yeah, you run up to a door. You say, "It's my door. It is your door." Make a perception check as sort of you hear Seraph running behind you towards his.
That was a D7. That doesn't.
That was a D7.
Okay, 5.
5. Looking around, trying to get a various view of the others. You get a little bit of some stuff. One of them seems to be wearing fairly bougie clothes. Another one is like larger than any man you've ever seen. A third seems pretty rigid in how they're standing. But there's actually 2 that are. One of them is like a big person, and one of them is like massive.
Gotcha.
But you would be standing there, and sort of you feel the urge to just walk forth a little bit towards this central sort of half circle. Like you would imagine it would catch rain almost in like times of storms. So sort of this concrete or stone basin.
Advance.
They would all seem to advance with you, and you'd see sort of one after the other would pull some sort of blade from one of them or a sharp piece of stone, sort of run this blade down the palm of their hand for placing it on the side of the basin. Sort of blood starts to trickle into this basin.
I follow suit.
Okay. And as you do that, you sort of feel purpose given to you, sort of drilled into you this deep set need to do things. But as you sort of have this moment of clarity, looking back, the gateway, sort of this stone door that you entered through, now has sort of this red mucus sort of film over it.
Furrow brow. Lao kitesket, you will ask.
Seems to be no answer after a brief pause.
I'll go down cautiously.
Okay. Making your way towards it, you're able to get within 10 feet, then 5 feet, then 1 foot. Sort of right up against it.
Okay. I'll stick my tail in it.
Okay, sticking your tail in it, you feel a bit of a breeze.
Push a hand through and walk through.
Okay. And as you walk through, Ajanette, been a weird day.
Be right back.
I mean, the beds are not great. You're much larger than the beds were meant for someone to be. So you sort of were like bent at the knees, feet on the floor.
Not good.
But the room is fairly luxurious, and you can find like some spare pillows to give your feet some comfort in their odd resting place. But eventually you'd be able to drift off to sleep. Um, and sort of coming to, you would look around and you are sort of at your home base, so to speak, the place where your people come to rest from time to time, and once their sort of seasons of traveling has stopped, their place that they go to once it is time to rest for the winter. You can see the various sort of thatched roofs that have these sort of vine tendrils running around them. You can even see that sort of various carts and stalls, and then fenced in areas where a lot of the sheep and other livestock are kept. But something is wrong. Looking forward, there is like a area that is smoking pretty thoroughly. It's sort of billowing up. There's clouds of smoke.
Would run to it thinking there's a fire.
Okay. As you sort of start to jog over towards it, there's like a brief moment where like everything freezes for a second. And sort of stepping out from behind like a wheelbarrow or something, you would see this pale-faced, fluffy-cloaked, sort of clown-looking individual. Oh, my dear, I don't know if you want to continue that way. I would like to protect you from harm. That's only misery in that direction.
Remembering.
There might
Yes.
be lessons to be learned, but damn, it's a hard one.
I know there's misery, but I think I want to see. I don't want to forget what happened. I want to see it.
Very well. And he would sort of step aside with a bit of a bow. But you continue further. As you start to make your way towards it, you see an area of land. Do you remember sort of the hilly landscape? But there is like an actual crater off to one of the sides of this sort of landscaped area. And within it, you can just see bodies. This crater is probably 35 feet by 35 feet, maybe even slightly larger than that. But it is like burning corpse pile.
Try to see if there's any survivors or who is the cause of it.
Sure, make a perception check.
What do you want?
21 is pretty good. So as you look around, behind sort of an area of bodies, a figure would stand that was once in the crouch position. Its skin and features are sort of hidden by this flowing, like matte black metal that seems to cover them with these motes of light, sort of at various different angles. And there'd be another figure that they seem to be talking to. A figure that's sort of in red metallic form that's got these really like steep shoulder pads that seem to come out into spikes. A female of some kind, face exposed and like torso exposed, but the rest sort of has this metallic shimmer to them. But currently, the eyes seem to be, or where the eyes would be, are locked upon this one figure that is like slightly moving in the center of this like massive sort of pile. But this black metal metallic figure would speak. It is so typical of mortals to find the most powerful tools of the universe and make them into hats, and would sort of like reach out, and you can see your village elder there with sort of this, seasonal crown that you're so used to that sort of shifted with the current weather or current season, I should say. And you can see that it sort of has started to shift into sort of a wintry landscape, snowflakes and the like. But as this figure sort of reaches out towards it, it would start to disincorporate and disapparate as it just becomes more and more into like this liquid moving gold. And reaching towards it, it would start to flow out, meeting the hands of this matte black metal creature, and start to like flow up its arms. So foolish. Start to walk towards this figure that's down on the ground. Then would sort of crouch down to where they're like almost eye level, picking up this small staff, breaking the head off of it, and once again sort of holding it, and it's starting to melt down to this like liquefied, sort of floating gold. But taking its hands together, this would form a sphere of all this sort of metallic liquid, and would hand it off to the creature in the sort of this red armor. Take that back to base. And that figure would sort of great red metallic wings would sprout out from behind them, and they would start, wing beating up into the air and start to fly off. The figure would turn back. The rest of this trash can go to the one who will buy it. Sort of toss it off to the side. And for you, sort of looking at this pile, with sort of this moving hand from your village elder, he would take a hand up and bring it down, and there'd be like a cataclysmic crashing sound as the earth itself starts to give out. And I'll say, even with the 21 perception, you can see that your own body, weirdly, off to the side as it starts to fall in with this massive caving in of ground. But this metallic black figure would sort of hop out of this area before it crumbles off to the side, and then would turn and look at you. Now, what are you?
I'm the one falling into the pit, son of a bitch.
Well,
What do you want? Why you do this?
They would start to stalk towards you, sort of making their way around the pit, but walking at you like not your body, but like you personally. What are you doing? You have some time as they sort of start to make their way around.
Just call the people. Just going to approach.
Okay. So you start making your way towards this creature. And you kind of catch like a little bit in like some shattered glass, the reflection of your friend like hitting you with like a no-go, but it briefly passes as you go by.
Mm-hmm.
But this creature would continue to like approach you. Are you not running, little fawn?
I want to talk. I want to understand why.
Very well, we'll talk. And as like they get up next to you, they're not much taller than you, but there's like this moment where you're standing next to them, and it's like the grass itself does not want to stand up from this slight breeze. It's like flattened almost around you.
I want to know your name.
As it sort of watches you, the skin, sort of this metallic skin, starts to do something odd as like plates start to come out in front of its face, and it starts to get like a more put together like helm, and then armor on its shoulders, then like body. And like the metal around it would start to swirl like very ominously, and like you are frightened from this. Well, let's go for a ride, shall we? And then like its hand would reach out and grasp you by the shoulders, and it would like dash as it does so, blasting through a market stall. And then there'd be the moment where it freezes. You're like, on your heels, sliding back, but it is frozen. Your friend would be like, and like sort of move a few of his fingers. That's enough of that.
Yes. Oh no.
Yeah, so you're able to sort of scoot your way out of its grasp as it's like halfway jutting forward.
Please carry away from that place.
Yeah, you would make your way sort of off and around the side of a building. And it's weird because like looking around, the trees aren't blowing in the breeze. The grass is still. You even see a bird like stopped in the air.
I'm forever grateful for you.
Yes, well, I do my best. As you sort of
Very.
peer out, you would see in sort of this broken stone area that you had passed, that this thing frozen, like you'd occasionally see it like shift and move just like ever so slightly. And like small sort of drips of this black metal would like onto the ground. Slow at first, and then there would start to be sort of more and more of these plops of metal. Your friend would turn around like, you know what? Let's call reinforcements, and would sort of place his hand out, and these various archways would appear with this mucus in it, and almost immediately, all four of your friends stumble out of them in various states of confusion. As sort of looking off, this creature, the metal starts to form these separate entities that start to make their way towards your group. I would like everyone to roll initiative.
Uh,
The hell did you get us into?
Can somebody tell me what the
initiative.
Yeah, like what?
Am I here?
Yeah, you came through the portal.
I thought it was like just okay.
Still's going first.
Apparently, we're all coming in and just kicking this guy.
A 12.
Jeez, dude, you have 20? So okay.
Let me move you guys to a map.
I'd like to roll a persuasion check to persuade the goop to just fucking not.
Can you not?
Oh,
Oh, good gosh. It is beautiful and destroyed here.
Why is the gonna brought me here? Who is that?
yeah,
That
so
is
just to show, each of these, basically there are these like 5 like roughly man-sized plops of these like black armor metal that are starting to goop and gush towards the group of you. This figure in the center is still for the moment, but like you can see it occasionally like just like shifts it and twitches as all of 4 of you walk through these portals. So let me see if I
that
can...
is a very bad man. Later on, that's the conclave, I think.
I thought we said that we weren't ready for this. We all agreed, right? We weren't ready to fight this guy.
He grabbed me. I was just going to talk.
Do we remember who we are and that we're friends?
Yeah, it all kind of floods back to you.
Okay.
Is
And
this
I never
something
forgot.
done-
The volcano just dropped me here.
Was that was this before me? Because I don't recognize.
I mean, it was before all of you.
Yeah, no, we don't know where we are, but
Or when
Ravo
we
never
are.
forgot the party.
Yeah, essentially, how you understand it, there's a group of people that is after the party, and
Right.
they've acted like this guy is one of the top people of that.
Okay.
So,
People are after us.
I need everyone to add their initiative if they can.
Somebody already added mine. I was
Congrats.
very helpful of them, whoever it was. Thank you, whoever it was.
What's me?
All right. So going first, this figure, this metallic metal figure, doesn't move per se, but you see sort of whatever this is that's sort of keeping him frozen there is starting to sort of decrease in strength. Sort of moving out a little bit, like the left arm sort of shifts forward just a little bit. Seems to be straining against it with every move, but is slightly moving out of the way. That'll make it Still's turn.
Yeah, so it's like, well, no better time than the present to try this out. And let me see. I think you might have spaced these guys out just perfectly for me to, like, if I center it here. Yeah, I cast Shatter on that point.
And what's the radius on it?
It is a 10-foot radius on all of them.
So yeah, you can get these 3.
And the big guy.
And the big guy.
Yeah. But I'm also going to dissonant. What is it called? Dissonant Whisper? What is it called? Bonus action, unsettling words. I'm like, if you have a mother, they never loved you. And then I hit just like a really low note, which is the string that has the metal on it.
Yep.
I just hit that really hard, and I cast Shatter. So unsettling words means that for his saving throw, he will lose 2. It'll be -2.
Okay, and since they are made of material such as stone, crystal, or metal, they do have disadvantage.
Hell yeah.
So the one at the top, what's the save?
The save, I believe, is Constitution.
No, the number.
Oh, it's still 13.
It's 13. Okay, so
Yeah, my
one at the
charisma
top
hasn't gone
will
up.
fail. The one on the right will fail. All 3 of them fail, and then the big guy said a 13. And what is he subtracting from his save?
2.
2. Okay, the big guy will pass.
Okay, he still takes half.
Yep.
3d8. So 18 damage.
Bitchin'.
That's good.
Damn.
To everybody, and 9 damage to the big guy.
Well,
Shit.
to the 3, yeah.
Yeah. Well, does he not take the half?
No. You said to everyone. I was saying just to the 3
Yeah,
on the edge there.
No, yeah. 18 to 3 to the 3 on the edge, and 9 to the guy in the middle. And then Syl is going to take his move action to be If I go like here, would that be behind cover?
It's partial. There's
Partial cover?
yeah, like there's a more full stone wall there. So like that would
Okay,
be
I'll go
more
there.
cover. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go there.
So you kind of place your back up against this sort of large stone wall behind you.
Mm-hmm.
That'll make it Geo's turn.
One question I have is: do I look like I did back in the vision, or do I look like myself?
You look like yourself now.
Okay. I will still just have. Yeah, I still just have first level. I don't have any. I was thinking about trying to summon something with the orb. Oh no, I do have second level because we're level 3 now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to armor Vagathes at second level while holding the orb.
Okay. So you'll take 6 points of damage as the spike sort of flins out into your flesh. But as it does so, there'd be this tear above you as like a retriever-sized squid octopus would sort of rip itself through. It has like 2 humanoid arms on its torso, but it seems to sort of float upright as opposed to like a squid would be this way. So sort of float upright and look down towards you.
Nice. I'll move to here.
Okay.
I guess to give a commandment to the squid, I would say, destroy the nanite creatures. I wouldn't say nanite. I would say destroy the Villachrome creatures.
Let me see if I can find a good token for this.
A squid.
You know, just a dog with a
Just a
dog with arms.
Dog-sized squid.
dog-sized squid
that's a
with
good
armos.
So you summoned it right about there. Okay. Can you roll its initiative for me? +2.
It's its turn.
It's its turn. Okay, so on its turn. Yeah. So it'll move sort of floating up to here. And it would sort of, its tentacle would flip open, revealing this like super long needle or stinger, and sort of take 2 attacks at it with this stinger. Those will both hit. Okay. It seems to be a nasty sort of dripping poison off of it, but it doesn't seem to affect this creature highly. Okay. Got it?
That's it?
Yep. That'll be Grimace's turn.
All right. Would I have flanking if I were to attack this guy from right here?
We can say this squid had enough movement to move there, so that'll make that no problem for you to move there and have flanking.
All right, then yeah, I move. I dash over here.
Well, that changes
And-
my turn somewhat.
Did cunning action dash or just your movement?
I just use my movement.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I try to swing at this guy.
Okay. $16 hits its AC.
Okay, cool.
Ooh,
Hey.
the big
Max
snack.
Nick. Max Nick.
Nick. Nah.
Okay. Um, yeah. Okay, so
And then-
with this, as you sort of reach out and stab it, whatever life is like animating this creature would sort of fizzle out as it seems to sort of slip back down and shoot its way over towards the center. Oh,
Towards the big guy?
yeah, like it gets absorbed back into them.
Alright then. And then I use my remaining... I use up my bonus action to dash. Let's see, where's cover? Actually, I just use my bonus action to dash like behind this wall.
Okay. That'll make it Adjanet's turn.
Okay. Would like to move here. I'd like to use my bonus action to cast spiritual weapon and my normal action to club it in with my hammer.
Plug it.
The spiritual weapon I think would be in the shape of vines, like thorny vines.
Okay.
And with chop.
That's your spiritual weapon.
Yes. And then first is up to the second. That's a good.
23
And
hits.
spiritual weapon. That's a good.
21 also hits.
Hammer. I'll be doing channel divinity to give the bonus. I think they actually went up. Yes, 11 extra damage. Necrotic if it matters.
Said 11 extra damage.
Yes.
And I only see one damage roll there.
And then the spiritual weapon also working.
So 8
So
plus
19 and 11.
You can see that it's like barely holding together. It's only like slightly together.
Oh, pierce.
So on their turn, they will sort of ooze forward to there. There.
Yes.
And there. So it's going to be 2 attacks against Squid.
Don't.
Take me.
So the normal hit is going to be
Please, no.
9 points of damage, and the crit 10 points of damage. Okay, so it's one of them sort of like moves some sort of like goopy version of an arm, and like a spearhead would protrude from it and shank into sort of the more bulbous head of the squid. The other one would just sort of reach out, and like 2 small daggers would come out and would slice part of a tentacle off that would sort of drop onto the ground. And the 2 attacks at Ajanet. They both go way wide. They both go way wide as it's like. Psing, psing.
With these two
They're like, the
monsters.
giant lady has the jukes.
That'll make it Bravo's turn.
Let's see. The question is, what's more important? Do we care about just doing damage to one person, or do we want to space out these guys?
AoE. AoE. I actually really like their spacing right now, personally.
I can't really AoE damage much. Is the big guy still, like, encased? Is he still, like, stuck in?
There's nothing that indicates that he is encased, but you do see that they're struggling against some sort of force.
Alright, I guess I'm just gonna trust that my two upfront friends have that handled, and I'm gonna try and launch a up-leveled witch bolt at that guy.
Okay,
Do it.
Do I still have to roll to hit him?
you do.
A 14?
14 glances off the armor, sort of bounces off and goes off into the forest.
We hear like a squirrel fall from a tree.
Yeah, Squirrel gets absolutely blasted.
Anything else you're doing? Movement, bonus actions?
It's a ranged spell attack, so yeah, it just hits the AC. Okay. Nope, that makes me useless. My bird will.
Do you have your bird?
Bird's not here.
Oh. Yeah, that makes me pretty fucking useless. Rip. Okay, yeah.
Do you want to move anywhere, or are you good there?
Suppose I will move here. Yeah, I'll move there, so I'm slightly less out on my own.
Okay. That'll make it the central figure's turn. On its turn, it's able to move a step in. Just struggling against it, pushing against it, is able to move a step. Also, coming from the armor, one more spawns. Plops behind it. That'll make it Sill's turn.
Geo, I'm sorry about your squid. Truly.
Yeah, I think the squid's getting overrun.
Do it.
I'm gonna get everybody. But first, I peek out. I look at him and I just sort of say, you know, black's really not your color. And then once again, I hit that Villachrome string and I cast Shatter from this square. I think. What is the square? Yeah, that's the square right there.
Okay.
That's gonna get all of them, but not hit Johnny. It will hit the squid. Oh, I gotta roll the d6. How
And
much
are
is
you-
he minusing? 3.
And you're giving it to the big guy.
Yeah, that's the unsettling words.
One on the left fails. One on the top passes.
Oh.
One in the middle passes. One on the bottom passes. One, okay,
What?
passes.
So they have disadvantage, right?
Oh, you're right. Disadvantage. Okay, so one passes. Okay, one passes. And then the big guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Big guy will fail.
All right.
No, sorry. The big guy passes. My apologies.
He does.
I don't know the
Okay.
math. I
Even
was
with
doing.
-3?
Even with -3.
Okay. 19. Those who pass, I believe, still take 9.
Yep.
So.
Okay. So. The one in front of Shawnee is destroyed.
I did really dished out some fucking damage spread.
And the squid. Squid will pass. So squid will take out.
Hell yeah. Squid survives.
Squid survives. Makes it Geo's turn.
All right. Which of these things are the most injured?
I think it's this one.
Yeah, that one's survived. It has taken 2 full blasts.
I point towards it accusingly. Then it's a bonus action. I will cast Hex on it.
Okay.
I will then manifest a spear and hurl the spear at it.
All right, make your attack roll.
Making sure my bonus did change. Nope, so it's fine. 11.
11 will not hit.
Okay. It'll fly past.
Okay.
Alright. Squid turn.
Squid turn. No, that makes. Oh yes, squid does need a turn. Good. Okay, the squid like lowers its head, and like you can see that some tusks are jutting out from where its beak is at. Almost like boar-esque tusks, and it would charge and try to hit this line here.
Huh.
First attack is success. Second attack will miss. Okay. That's supposed to be +4. Okay. So it deals 5 points of damage and ends up here. And sort of puts its head down and charges. That'll make it Grimace's turn. Okay, yeah.
Grimace would go around. Okay, how tall are these? You said these things are like human-sized? Like,
Yeah, they're probably 4 or 5 feet tall.
Grimace is going to run this way and try to like get past this one.
Just trying to leap over it.
Yeah, trying to get to the big guy.
Yeah, make an acro check.
Oh yeah, I have advantage on those. Thank God.
That's good. Yeah, so with a 20, you sort of move up to it, feint it, and as it lashes out, you're able to like do a double backflip over it and land on the other side with your daggers or your sword.
And then I try to hit the big guy.
Okay. You are flanking with Squid.
Oh, right.
Advantage.
So, okay. Ah,
Yeah, you're just finding no purchase in this armor. You're like clinging up against it. You even get like your sword and like really trying to jam it into like one of the spots where armor is normally weak, but you're just getting no purchase.
shit. In that case, disengage means you don't take add-ups, right?
I think it is an action to
first one?
disengage.
Yeah.
Not for if I were to use cunning action as a bonus action.
Okay, yeah, so it means the first square doesn't provoke?
I think it's the first square that you would provoke from doesn't count, basically, I believe.
Alright, that's just the stuff about cunning action, not disengage.
No. Disengage. I've got it here. Take this. Your movement doesn't provoke add-ups for the rest of the turn. So,
Oh, cool.
yeah. So you can, as a bonus action, disengage.
Yep.
And you've
And
got, you moved 10
15.
feet, 15 feet? Yeah, so you got 15 feet to move.
I'm gonna go right back to where I was.
Okay, I'm going to need another acro check.
That's fine. After jumping over this guy, as soon as like the ghost thing turns around, I'm like, all right.
18 will do it. So you're able to flip once more over this creature. As it's like spinning around, hearing clanging, you're already on the other side, jogging back to cover.
See ya.
That'll make it Ajanette's turn.
Okay. I'm going to direct my, as a bonus action, I'm going to direct my spiritual weapon to this guy. Well, we're both going to hit this guy. How about that?
Okay.
First, spiritual weapon.
17 hits. Okay, 9 points of damage. That's the spiritual weapon. The vines kind of wrap around and grab this thing and then sort of twist very hard as it's sort of flinched apart, kind of into this black oozy splatter, and then it gets absorbed once more. That'll make it their turn. Shift here and attack. This one will actually provoke add-ops because they're going there. Okay, so that one will have to dash, but it will also move here. So I think Ajanette gets an attack of opportunity. I don't know if the spiritual weapon does. No, okay.
No.
So
But
5 points of damage. Let's see. So it kind of took this path. So I don't think Grimace provokes there.
Right,
and
then.
the other one took a longer path. It had to use its action move.
Right.
That'll make it Bravo's turn. Oh, the one will attack still, and one will attack the squid.
Yeah. Oh boy, yeah, that hits.
Yeah, 19 hits still. So it's like 5 points of damage as like it manifests as shield and sort of bashes it against your head. The one will miss, the other one misses the squid. So Bravo, your turn.
I took 5.
You took 5, yeah.
Alright.
Okay. Anything that requires an attack roll is just a stupid idea because this guy's AC is very high. His strength saves are probably very good. Maybe the gremlins aren't very good.
That line there, it's like, I'm going to shoot a lightning bolt, miss both of those creatures, but directly hit Syl.
I'd hit one of the creatures.
You could,
I think it's about this line.
yeah.
I mean, like, there are angles you could draw from there, right? You could do, like, that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm pretty useless here, but I will move here. And I'm going to use Gust of Wind. When does Giovanni go? Giovanni goes a bit late. All right, Giovanni, I'm sorry about this. I'm sorry, friend.
No, it's okay.
Okay. So they need to make strength saving throws.
Yep. And I'm going to miss Syl with it by targeting this somehow. There we go. Okay, that's a good line. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're going to kind of buffet Geo against the wall there, but...
Yep. Nothing I can do about that.
But it doesn't deal damage, so I'm not sure Geo's going anywhere, so... that'll pass. That will fail.
What's the saving throw?
Strength.
$10?
10 total will not pass it. So you're able to push this one, and it gets shoved 15 feet, which I think 5, 10 puts it there. I think actually, because the angle you drew, like there. Yeah. Okay, anything else you want to do? Any bonus actions? I can't hear you. I think your microphone's muted.
Both of us. Okay, yeah, that's my turn. They do have to spend double actions to get.
Yeah, basically you've created a wind tunnel there, and like Geo, you're feeling it sort of press against you. You know that if you're trying to move towards Bravo, it'd be like walking into very, very difficult wind,
Gotcha.
making it hard to move. Yeah. That will make it the big guy's turn. First of all,
Oh no!
Mm-hmm.
3 more pop out.
Oh dear.
Jesus. Looks like I gotta get over there and explode.
And he can't do much, but he is going to reach out and grab the squid.
No!
And just squeeze it till it explodes.
No!
So just reaches out, just squeezes it, and there's just like a gout of blood and viscous that eventually, after all settles, starts evaporating into sort of smoke. As that finishes up, you would see a bit of a shadow dancing behind the statue. Might I suggest leaving? Voice would sort of pop up.
I see. We should leave.
How?
Oh, well. And you would see sort of forming into the air various sort of portals start to woof, 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 woof. Each one looking like the one that you came through. That'll make it Sill's turn.
So it's like, I'm not leaving without Johnny. And he's going to provoke an attack of opportunity to in order to get to Johnny.
I was going to leave with you.
Huh?
I was going to leave with you. Go ahead.
Alright.
Yeah, Johnny, she seems fine right now. What?
Yeah, no, she's doing fine.
Well, she's just right up in the shit.
Well, y'all kind of are.
From where she is.
So I'm going to take the add up, move to here, give her heroism, and then get back.
I'm definitely fine with what you're doing.
Yeah. I cast heroism on Johnny. And then I like, you can do this. And then so turns back around and gets to there with the rest of his movement.
Okay. The add up against you.
Yeah.
Will hit.
Yeah, that hits for sure.
Take 4 points of damage as it sort of slices at your leg as you go by.
Mm-hmm.
I would not suggest ending your turn there. I would suggest trying to end your turn somewhere next to me. Not in front of me.
Oh, I was trying to be a physical barrier between our squishy mage and...
But I have a wind barrier.
Okay.
That'll make it Geo's turn.
I'm gonna send a parting spear out towards the creature I hexed.
It is dead.
Ah, it's dead. Bonus action, move the hex over to another injured one.
Okay, the one that went here. That one's been injured.
Gotcha. Move the hex to him, throw a spear.
Okay.
Just as a parting shot. Not good. So, spear will fly by. But Giovanni's already kind of turned around and is heading back. Because of the wind that's going this way, I have to do something weird where I go down.
Right.
But I still got enough movement to move through my portal.
Okay. So do you do so?
Yes.
So you make this movement. As you pass through, you wake up in a bit of a sweat in your bed. Just... That'll make it Grimace's turn.
Sill
All
dies
right.
here. He dies in real life.
Can we tell which of the portals corresponds to each of us? Like,
You came through that one, yeah.
this one? Okay.
Yeah.
I would run this way. And
You can use a disengage action so you can move without provoking from this guy. There's also a wind tunnel there where you're currently standing.
Yeah, I think it's when you're moving towards him. When he's not. He's just moving perpendicularly.
Okay.
okay, wait. So I was right here. So I move exactly right here.
Yeah, you
Look,
could
guys,
do
the
that.
wind tunnel seemed like a good idea at the time.
You could always use your action to
Move.
or your yeah.
I'm thinking like if there's a way to maybe take one of these things with us.
I mean,
He's
you can
taken
move
several.
for all of your actions. Because of cunning action, you can kind of just move for all of your actions.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm thinking like if there's a way to take like I want to like.
Well, some of us are dreaming. Is the problem?
Okay, it's good. I use my bonus action to disengage so I could keep going and just get to the portal, I guess.
Okay, so sprint to the portal or through it.
I sprint to the portal and then I stop to make sure to like wait for everyone else to get to a portal. And then actually, that would be just my movement and disengage, right? Would I still have an action?
The disengage is a bonus action, but it doesn't give you extra movement.
Okay, then in that case I used everything. All right. So I just stand by the portal.
Okay, that'll make it Anjanette's turn. You've still got like a bit of squid goo on your face.
Okay. So is mine blue green?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, Syl
Boy,
came through the golden one. And Bravo came through like the lava red one.
This is going to suck, but I gotta do the most direct route.
Yeah, no, you're most direct. That's why I slapped heroism on you. You're gonna take 2 opportunity attacks. Yeah.
And both finally, fuck you, my bonus action's still here. And we're put the 6 of items on the big guy.
Okay, both of their add-ops miss you.
Alright. Let's see. Big bunny, not big enough.
No, it sort of clangs and clatters against the skin of this creature.
Mm-hmm.
On their turn, they all get reabsorbed.
Oh.
So they all like race back into it across the ground, and you can sort of see something building.
Mm.
I think that makes it Bravo's turn. Yeah.
It is time to go.
Okay. Which portal is Syl's?
The gold one.
Still is the golden.
Okay. I will move over here, and I will use my bonus action to change the direction, this direction. So Syl can run perpendicular across, but it locks down. It locks down this angle, so he has to spend double the movement to come around here.
And what's the length of it?
60 feet.
So let me just draw it. How long is that?
Then I'll probably actually bias it slightly lower so that it, like,
So like this.
Yeah, like that.
Okay, you are going to make
mean,
it more
he has to-
difficult for Syl to move through there because he is moving
Well-
towards you.
Well, he can move like that.
I
Sure.
don't have that much movement.
Well, you don't have a lot of movement either way. You could also, presumably, right?
I mean, if I can go behind it, I suppose.
Look, I'm just trying to keep the guy away. He has to make a save. He'll probably auto pass it because
He's
he has...
going before me anyway, so whatever is happening, you just step through the portal and let me take it, okay?
Nah, man. I gotta give you the best chance. He has to make a save. He has to make a strength save or be pushed back. The guy.
Yep. He will
Well.
pass.
Yep. He probably passes on a 2, but whatever.
Okay. Is that all you're doing in your turn? Or are you going through the portal?
If I go through the portal, the window's away, right?
You're not really sure.
I'm gonna try to wait until Syl gets through.
Okay.
Grimace and I are being the helicopter guards.
So that'll make it its turn. On its turn, it places its hands in the center before unleashing them out, and the sun is blotted out by a massive sphere of this black metal that like kind of extends over the sky out hundreds of feet, surrounding you, and it is now pitch black in here.
Jeez, who the hell did you guys piss off?
Why are you guys still there?
I didn't have...
How far is your dark vision? Those who are still there.
See?
Mine is 120 feet.
120 feet.
Mine is not long enough to account for that.
I'm 60.
60. So you're kind of behind something. You don't have really a good time of seeing. You can see this thing like digging its hands into the ground to pull itself closer and closer to the group of you. It uses all of its movement. You can hear this side of the house crumbling, but it doesn't get any further than that from sort of this gush of wind pushing against it, making it double its movement.
Syl, I need you to go, dog.
So I'll make it Syl's turn.
All right. So moving perpendicular to it, there is no issue with moving through it.
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
only when you're going directly towards me.
He is one square back.
So I can move just straight down, and I won't be affected.
Yes. Like,
Okay.
that would not mess up your movement.
Hence why I blasted the wind that direction, to try and give you that perpendicular angle. I was thinking ahead.
Okay. So he's right there. He's that at that square exactly.
Yeah, you can't quite see because it's pitch black and he's around the corner, but like as you turn the corner, sprinting past the wind, like you see that he's like 7 feet off of you, like just tearing towards you.
I shoot off a thunder. I shoot out a thunder wave, the stiff arm thunder wave backwards towards him as I
bonus
run
action?
through. No, that's my standard action. I'm just moving. I do a thunder wave. This is my standard
Okay,
action, and then I
well-
finish my movement over here.
Okay, I'm letting you know that there is an option here where you decide to take an action to move further, or you can take your action to blast him. Up to you.
You could just blitz through your portal.
Oh, man. I guess you all can just step through your portal once I've stepped through. So I'm gonna step through. The cool thing to do would be like, your mother's ugly, and then blast him, and then stop out and hope he fails the save on it to be pushed back further again. But
Okay, still hesitantly thinking, man, I could have done something potentially legendary, but also potentially quite lethal. As you sort of sprint through the portal, Geo is gone. That makes it Grimace's turn.
All right. Stepping 1 foot into the portal, I'm gonna aim my hand crossbow at him just to see, and just to piss the guy off, I fire it at him.
Okay. Take a shot.
All right.
Nat 20. Right now. Nah, man. Nah.
What is that plus?
Is it my dex modifier?
It should be proficiency if you're proficient, and then your dex modifier.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so +5, so 16.
Okay, 16. Even with like the assisted wind tunneling effects.
Can I? Since I was going to use my bonus action on Unsealing Words, can I instead do it to give him Bardic?
Sure.
I give him Bardic.
So
Yeah.
with like the final strum, you sort of lay back into the portal. Add your D6
You stick
in.
your head back into the portal. It's like, hey, by the way.
Hey.
Add a D6 to it.
I didn't have the balls to do something legendary. It's your turn.
What does that bring the total to?
20.
Even with a 20, as it careens towards the head plate, it sort of bounces off and goes spinning.
All right, then. In that case, with that, I step through the portal.
Okay. Which we'll take it to Brave Beau's turn. You can see that he is like reaching towards you, swirling, metallic, just incoming death is coming towards you.
Yeah, does he fail a strength save?
Does he have to make it every turn?
Yeah.
Well, he
Every
made
turn
it.
is in it.
All right, we'll see. Oh yeah, he passes.
Yeah. Well, I look back at my portal. I use my racial ability levitate, and I use the gust of wind to rocket me through my portal and out of here.
Okay, you rocket out, and as you are exiting, you can see just this swirling black metal tendrils coming towards you. But as you go through the portal, you would awaken in a sweat. But you would be in your room, sitting there fine. It seems like Marseille must have left some time ago. But you were once again on your own in your room.
Okay. I go into kind of the shower, the bath area, and I run a cool, nice. I run the pool for a nice, relaxing soak.
I am running around and checking on my friends to make sure they made it out.
I was wondering, I'm gonna maybe see if everyone else had that same weird dream.
Okay. Yeah,
Syl,
so two or three of you bust open the doors to the courtyard.
Can I say Syl is going to stay in his room, and he's going to very quickly dry off his face, and he's just gonna play dead.
Okay.
I would take a moment to get out. I have to take out all the locks and all that.
I am ready.
Go ahead.
It's gonna be a 19.
Yeah, 19. So you even take a moment to get your neck at a really weird angle and look like you've been crumped, like a Skyrim character who's been killed at some point. You're just rigid and flat on the bed, twisted and contorted as much as your body will allow.
I run to Syl's room and this is what I see. What's the check to oppose this?
Insight.
Okay, I'll make an insight check.
Yeah, he's fucking dead.
Do I think he's dead or do I think he's still in the dream? Which do I think?
Oh, you think he's dead? He's done for.
Oh, he's
he got crumped at some point.
Giovanni will give a howl of despair. Just no.
Pretty fucked up. Because
in,
we say that Sil
in
has to go
fury
check.
at him not leaving his portal, I will punch the corpse of Sil in the dick.
Roll your attack roll.
Play stupid games. Win stupid prizes.
19.
19 will hit Sil's dick.
1 point of damage.
No, it's actually it's more than that, right?
No, it's strength.
2 plus your strength.
It's 1
That's-
plus strength, yeah.
1 plus strength, which is 1.
All right.
But it is enough that, like,
But would you argue it's sneak attack?
Oh, oh man, what a dream!
You've solved the cure to death.
Man, Sil is underselling this punch in the dick.
It's all good. Yeah. Whew.
feeling a
Yeah,
little sore
okay,
down
what a
below the
fight.
belt.
All right, I think this is enough
Yeah.
for like Grips to make his way in and be like, "What happened?"
Yeah, Grimace and I don't know what Adjanet is up to.
Johnny's coming to check up on friends.
Yeah, all 4 of them are there. I guess Bravo's running a bath. So
Like we
Well,
heard,
no, he's
we
going to
heard
like the pool,
Geo
and he's.
screaming in agony or something.
I assume there's a pool or something. Like I'm assuming this is kind of like still like a palatial place. So he's going to the pool and swim and taking a nice relaxing swim.
yeah, so you've got 2 things. There's like a pool proper that is some distance off, or that you could just like start dipping into the pond in the center of like this courtyard that all the rooms are attached to.
No, he's going to the pool. He's throwing like a bathing accoutrement on, putting his robe on, and going to the pool.
Yeah, you see, as Adjanet, you start to enter the room, you can see Bravo with a towel over his shoulders, just kind of whistling to himself, making his way down the hallway.
Bravo, are you good?
He's like having a
Yes.
spa day.
The communion was not terribly revealing.
Uh, my dream was incredibly revealing, but they do have a good bath?
I'm going to the pool for a swim. You're welcome to join me.
Sure, after I check up on all the others.
Sure. I'll be there.
I think Gio is crying. Well,
Me?
Gio, not Bravo.
See, it's the O at the end.
Hmm. I mean, if I goes and checks up on the others.
While we're waiting for the others to show up, Brave Sil's gonna look to Grimace, and he's gonna look to Geo. Like, I'm gonna pull this prank again on Johnny when she comes in here. So y'all gotta play
That was
along,
a
okay?
prank?
Yes, Geo.
I thought I fucking resurrected you.
You did.
You are dead.
No. I'm just a good actor.
Damn it, fuck you, sir.
Punch him in the dick again. Give him another
Hit
one.
him again in the ball.
I don't punch him again, but I leave the room. Just
Love you,
storming
Geo.
off.
I love you, Geo. All right.
So like, we're both standing outside. We see Geo storming out of Sil's room. Like,
Yeah, I mean, you heard the conversation.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, Sil's pretending to be dead again on the bed.
all right, so we see the dead Sil.
Yep.
This somehow.
I mean, you heard him
Okay,
talking briefly.
Yeah, I know, right? That's the
Whatever
thing. So
happened,
we
this
heard him
was
say it was a prank.
sharpened.
I'm like, I guess he doesn't want his gold anymore.
Oh,
No, fuck you, man. I'm gonna open like it's my money. I work hard for it.
There he is.
did you all have a good dream? Good sleep?
Yeah, you look pretty vigorous. I hurt all over.
Oh, when Gregor says there's a pool,
I can't swim.
you can't swim.
No.
Well, maybe there's a hot tub.
Now that is something I can get behind. Do you think if I pretend to drown in the pool, Bravo would believe it?
I mean, apparently Gio thought you were dead when you were.
Yes, I pulled a prank. He left first, so figured there's no way he would know if I made it out or not. You know.
Oh, I see. The crew prank. I came to some realizations. I saw a woman that I didn't see before in red armor. She took some of the things from my tribe.
Hmm.
Apparently, some of my tribe had some of that Chrome stuff that you have on your vision. Bring down.
Oh.
And also,
Yeah.
I never met somebody who can see me in my dreams and act upon them. It's very unnerving.
It is very uncomfy. It's like real uncomfy.
He also saw me when I described him earlier. Oh, yeah. I used the Lord thing you're describing. That was probably a mistake.
Yeah, I think we just gotta just leave the Astral Conclave alone. Or if not, we can work our way up by assassinating their lower echelons one by one for eternity while running from them.
It's a thing of like, I worry that they won't leave us alone.
I see.
They wiped out the entire city.
Yeah, that's kind of fucked, huh?
City still. That's right. They'll probably do it again if anyone slights them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's go take a break. A breather.
Yes, let us go take a break. I think that I'm the only one who ended up getting hurt. So
Wait a fucking moment. You don't know how to swim, and we've been on sea for like 2 months.
yeah. Remember when I capsized that fucking boat? That was one of the
Oh,
scariest moments of my life.
wow. Oh.
Remember, I just had to sort of hang on to some floating driftwood till y'all picked me up because I
Is there a
couldn't
reason
swim
you
it.
never learned, or
I need to teach you this.
I never learned. No, never learned. There's not a lot of call for, or really a lot of opportunities to learn how to swim for me growing up.
So as you all make your way to the pool house, we'll make our 30-minute break here. So we'll be back half an hour and see you then.
cool?
And we're back.
Hello.
Shut up.
Hey, I gotta go apologize to Geo.
Yeah, I think we return with all of you in the pool area.
Mhm.
Giovanni's lurking. He's not getting in the pool. Still fully dressed.
Geo, do you
Ravo is in the pool and enjoying himself. He picked up a lemonade from somewhere on the way. He's got some snacks set out on the table. He's just chilling.
Geo,
Yes, my friend.
I know that you will get me back for the prank I pulled. I know this. I just wanted to preemptively apologize. Not out of a hoping that you won't get me back for it. But from a perspective of, look, you're my best friend, man. I didn't realize you'd be the first one in. I'm sorry.
Seal, I accept your apology. I would say you are not owed a prank by me. I think we are even. And the reason I say this is you've brought up the time where I had your face skinned and all, and then slipped and plummeted to what could have been my death. And you recounted those, that being particularly disturbing. I will say we are even now.
Not enough. I could ask for no more.
Hmm.
Other than, do you know how to swim?
I have some experience with swimming. I'm not a supreme swimmer, but I know how to swim. I can't teach you.
You said you can?
I cannot.
Oh, that's too bad. I was, yeah, I was gonna give you the opportunity to fake drown me. That's all good. I understand why you probably don't feel comfortable swimming with everybody, so just, they've got do they have a hot tub?
Yeah, looking around, there's like a smaller, sort of circular pool. Seems to
You
have
might
some
be
like
able to.
weird levers next to it, so you're not really sure how to turn it on.
Mhm.
Anjane is experimenting with the levers.
Okay, there are 3 levers.
I pull all of them.
Okay. You pull all 3, and like the first thing is like these like illusory lights start to glow up from the inside going up. The second thing is hot water starts pouring into the middle. And the third thing is ice cubes start flying into the center as well. So now it's like this like bubbling, steamy, illusory.
I don't think we're
Oh.
meant to pull all 3 at once.
So it's like once we get the hot tub sorted out, maybe you can include yourself, Geo, by just soaking the lower half. You don't have to get all the way undressed to do that, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't want you to be left out. I'm sure you had enough of that in your life. If you don't need to get that from your friends too.
No, it's
If all of you are done having very strange conversation, then I'd like to tell you about some of my plans.
tell us.
I will be going up the volcano yet again, and with communing with the Fae. I asked it if it would be alright for me to go get another stone, like the one I already carry. It said that would be fine, so I must make a pilgrimage up. Will be somewhat of a journey. may take me some time.
Do you think there will be coin in it?
Probably not.
A
There
shame.
will be danger and lava and possibly magical beasts. But
I mean-
probably not coin.
The magical beast is what got him, Bravo. You
Yeah.
just lead with creatures for him to kill.
I do
You
not
got
think
him.
you would want to even try to fight all of them. Some of them may be intelligent. Some of them may only wish to.
I'll
I don't wish to fight all of them, but perhaps there is interesting creatures with interesting skins.
tell you what, Bravo. You give me 2 gold, I'm in.
I am not asking for it. I would welcome you, but I'm not asking for company. I'm only telling you what I plan to do.
Oh, come on, you saw how useful he was in that battle. Pay him his 2 gold.
Listen. I don't do this kind of thing unless it's to protect my own skin, protect my friends, or if there's money in it for me.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
I'm
you for
not
reminding
terribly.
me.
I'm not
Seraph
terribly
is a son of a bitch.
Ah, yes.
You say this frequently. How is he a son of a bitch?
Alright. So, let me explain. This guy led me on. I thought perhaps he is related to my faith. Perhaps he has some connection there. I ask, I reveal some things about myself. He plays coy, like he doesn't know. And he does this game again and again. Oh, I'm actually connected, I'm not connected. I find out in this dream that he was most certainly connected. And he's been playing this game this whole time. I know not for what purpose.
I do not know what purpose either. You could accuse him, but you'll probably just be playing this game again.
Make a wisdom check for me, Ajanet. Yeah, it's not difficult to remember back to when the city of Misthorn was razed to the ground. So the thought occurs of finding Seraph might be more difficult than you originally thought.
He might be dead.
I doubt he's dead, but he may be in a different location.
What if he's dead?
That would be extremely unfortunate. I would want to see his remains.
Okay.
What if he's been amongst us this whole time?
If he's been amongst us this whole time, the level of anger I have at him would be at a higher level.
Right.
I use my verbal magic and I turn into him.
Giovanni rolls his eyes, does this, and is also him. Oh, come look at my wares. I certainly am mysterious. Ooh.
As I am not interested in bribing any of them, I attend with my religious pilgrimage. I am going to go prepare my spells for it. Any of you who wish to come, welcome. But I'm not paying.
You
And then I
cannot
go
pay?
sip my lemonade, eat my snacks, prepare my spell book.
All right, you drive a hard bargain. I'll take 5 silver.
Another thing. I saw another member of the. I saw another member of the Astral Conclave in my dream. A woman in red armor. It's just a thought. She has something I want, so she's easier to obtain, I think, than the big scary man that exists in dreams and knows he's in dreams.
Are you after the red armor?
No, she has it's got this weird essence stuff, the chromo thing that they it's on like Sill's string. It was originally part of my tribe.
I see. So your tribe had Villacron.
Yes, my tribe had Velochrome. Apparently.
It is likely that they are more so after us because I have this Villachrome than it is that
I wonder if the different colors mean different things, because your Velochrome is different than the one that was in
Roll
my
an
tribe.
Arcana on that question.
Sure. You,
I've just
you know
I've
practically
succeeded.
nothing about them.
I've succeeded on some checks regarding the Villachrome. I have a passing familiarity. It's a 16.
You've got no idea if the different colors and types of Villachrome mean anything.
I'd like to experiment with the Villachrome. I'd like to strum it and try to will it into a single spike on the ground, like we saw the guy do.
Okay. Okay, make a charisma check for me.
21.
Yeah, so you kind of close your eyes, strum it out, and there'd be a bit of a pause, and then a spike would come out before descending.
Huh.
Meanwhile, Bravo in the background starts getting his ritual paints out and getting ready.
I get an idea. A evil look goes across my face. I'm still standing right next to Geo. And I try to will it to form a spike out of the wall right in front of Bravo, just like stopping right before his face.
Okay. Roll your charisma check.
And he impales Bravo.
That's a 12. It will not work probably
This time you strum, and the chords it's not even melodic. For some reason, it's just got, it's more, a melody, and you kind of have that dissonant sound. Doesn't seem to do anything.
All right. Interesting. Okay. Too bad. That might have given him quite the scare.
Yeah, no, Bravo is there, he's started getting his robes on, getting ready to head up.
Mm-hmm.
So you all sit quietly in the pool.
Grimace doesn't go in the pool.
Grimace doesn't go in the pool.
Giovanni's got his legs up to his knees in the pool. So, do you know the name of the person who we just fought and who crumped my squid?
No, I asked him and he decided to take me away on a magic yeeting me ride.
Well, call him Pegasus then, because Pegasus take you away on a magic ride.
If you insist.
So there's Pegasus. Do we know of any others of the Astral Conclave to watch out for?
Lady in red armor.
Lady in red armor.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who met with my father. I don't know if we got a name for him or not.
You do have a name in the letter that you guys have from the conclave.
Right.
Wait, he met with your father? I did not realize there was that connection between the Astral Conclave and your family.
Yeah, my family's pretty fucked. Not good people. Yeah, he's friends with somebody, one of the higher ups. He was meeting with them for some reason. Probably some violent end. But Who knows? Maybe the Astral Conclave works for him. There's no way that I could ever know.
I think that's highly unlikely. But
I think it's
also-
unlikely, but
Well,
I don't know, man.
Does
It was interesting. I got to see my brother again in my dream. So
did you leave him behind in Sin City?
it did. It's one of my biggest regrets. He's always been more frail than me, though. I don't think that he could have made the journey.
I see.
Although I do worry about his condition, just with Dad is prone to becoming violent when people disobey him.
Oh,
And I was able to prevent my brother from receiving most of that while I was there. But it is what it is. He reminded me of something that's important for me to know in this dream. So
what the hell?
What?
Did you not hear that weird thundering?
Yeah, that's what typing sounds like.
Yeah, what typing sounds like.
Yeah, that
or
definitely just
is
sounded
some-
like he was typing.
sorry, was that me?
Yes,
I'm
and
sorry.
I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah. Do you worry about your brother because of you leaving him behind?
I do. Um, I don't worry about him getting killed or anything. It's not with me out of the picture. They're less likely to do anything to him. But
Your dad is a piece of shit and he deserves to die.
that's how the whole of the world views us people from Sin City, really.
That's not how I view you.
Well, but that's because you've gotten to know us.
Do you think if I got to know your dad, I would like it?
No. Well, maybe. It's possible that you could. It
Do you
depends
like
on what
your
he
dad?
wants. It depends on what he wants you to perceive.
Do you like your dad?
Sil furrows his brow.
I mean, you know him. Do you like him?
I mean, he's my dad.
No, I don't know.
I mean, I love him, but I have no respect for the man.
I
He's
don't think
not
he
a
loves
good
you.
person. I think that I don't think that he loves me. No, I think that he loves what I represent for the
Don't
family.
don't waste your love on such a man. Put your love to good use. Love people who are actually there for you.
I already love you, Johnny. What more do you want from me?
I love you too, Steve.
There you go. And
Do we
then
need to leave the two of you alone?
no, what? Grimace. Grimace. Grimace, no. Bravo, wait up, wait for me. I've changed my mind. 1 copper, I'll do it for 1 copper. I say running down the hall after Bravo.
I am not paying you to attend with me on a religious pilgrimage up the mountain where I will be most probably facing tests of spirit and mind.
All you gotta do is okay, just give me like half of a biscuit.
I must receive some form of currency.
I'll tell you what. If you survive, you may also receive a shard of obsidian.
still like cracks his neck while he thinks about it. He's like, "Yeah, all right." He starts doing calisthenics, getting himself limbered up.
Okay. Getting yourself all limbered up. What about the 3 remaining?
I'm down for it.
I'm down.
I suppose it will be a group trip then.
Still calls
I
down
mean,
the
you
hallway.
all are welcome.
Promise
I'm
not
on my way.
promise not to push you into the lava, Grimace.
Is that what killed him?
It was more meant as a joke. Probably bad taste though. You see, since he's
Yes.
been burnt so much.
Yes. Anyway, I'm going to go tell Marcel what I'm doing, and he will most likely yell at me. And then I will meet you all out front.
Okay. So you make your way to Marseille's door. Come in.
Hey, Professor, I have a wonderful idea.
Okay, walking in, you see him sitting at a desk, kind of scratching his bald head before taking a quill back to paper. What is it?
When I communed the island, it was unclear, and it said a lot of things which confused me. I'm not sure if it has any plan for it at all. However, I did ask it for permission to scale its slope once again, gather another collection of obsidian from the mountain itself. It said I would be allowed to. My friends have opted to come with me.
Well, be safe. Things are hectic up there.
Has the beast been feral recently?
More than usual.
Oh, that's good.
What did he
Well.
say?
Oh, nothing. Well, I will see you later.
He would sort of nod to you before going back, sort of murmuring to himself while scribbling. But the group of you start to set off. Bravo, you're aware that sort of the road to the volcano, to the caldera proper, is like an 80-mile journey. And the road is actually like 3 or 4 miles down the road. You pass it on your way up here. And it's not like I guess road's not the word, a path, walking path per se.
Following along.
All right.
Mhm.
So you start making your way up the volcano. Tell me what the group is looking like. What you guys are assembled as, what is
Like marching order or
marching order? Are you looking for something specifically? Are you traveling stealthily? Just what is the
I'm just
troop
trying.
looking like?
I think we're not stealthing. I think we're taking higher vantage. Like we're trying to take a path up the mountain that gives us a broader view of the things around us. Giovanni's also going to make shoes and put on shoes because obsidian, glass, rock, and all that other shit not good for the feet.
Johnny's gonna be in the lead mostly because she likes to forage as they walk.
Ramos might be in the lead because he's probably the one that knows where they're going.
Yeah, okay.
Also-
Let's put if the squishy mage wants to walk front, that's fine.
I mean, he's just walking up for like a religious pilgrimage. He's not.
Yeah, he's not in a battle marching order. He's just trying to make his way to the volcano.
Okay.
Okay, so if I get a perception check from the front two.
Do I have my bird with me this time?
Yeah, you're not in a dream state.
14.
Okay, 14. Bird takes off, sort of looks around. Seems to be fairly clear at this portion. You can see off to one side, there's like some scratchings in a tree. Maybe 5 feet up. Seems to be antlers of some kind. But you continue on. Sort of lush jungle is on either side of your path currently, and sort of up to your left, but it's sort of northeast of where you are. You can see just as it comes to a top. As usual, sort of white billowing smoke is coming from the top. Bravo knows that if it's like gray or black, then that means the volcano is angry. Or perhaps angrier, depending on who you ask.
The volcano seems to be in a good mood. Is this supposed to
But you continue trekking forward.
Yep, continue trekking up the mountain.
If it were in a bad mood, then this would be a far more lethal journey.
And as you continue walking, after some time, you pass by a stone that is just as primordial, just the numeric figure for 1. So you kind of know, hey, I've hit the first mile. Then after you guys have traveled a bit more, you'd pass the one that says 2. Around mile 3, can I get a perception check from the front two?
Everyone or just the people in lead?
Just the people leading.
Okay.
An 11.
15 is a bit better. You would see some sort of like large 4-legged animal off towards the south side of the volcano, sort of on the slope down to your right. Ajanet seems to be sort of like black, and what really like sticks out to you, it seems to have some sort of crest of red on its like chest area.
Would share this, say there's a really cool animal that's like 4-legged, black and red looking up there. Do you know what that is?
Still scratches his chin, looks at it, and rolls a nature check.
Okay.
Would an arcana or nature be better for this?
Nature.
I would love the assist.
Yeah, I'll assist.
Hell yeah. 14.
14, you can, like, getting a good look at it and kind of squatting down to get on the right level. It seems to be like a deer or moose or something in that family. Its antlers are kind of odd as they like come up and then down and then forward. But it is like a large creature. It's bigger than a horse. So you're not quite sure exactly what it is, but it certainly is something with hooves and.
So again, it goes up, down, and out like that.
No. Like it kind of curves back behind its ears before coming forward, but like almost like ram horns, except these are antlers, so they kind of branch out at various different.
Cool. It's some sort of ram, elk, moose type thing. I'm only able to sort of identify the genus of it,
Right.
but
Probably a guardian of the volcano. If it's not bothering with us, then we won't bother with it.
no. let's get going.
Unless the creature attacks us, I won't go after it. I do kind of hope it attacks us and that I can kill it and skin it, but
No. You do not hope the guardians of this volcano attack. You would not skin it. They would devour you, and they would laugh at your corpse.
it looks like just a large moose. I mean, for all I know, it'll come up full force. You dare approach my mountain. But I think it's just a large moose.
The beasts of this volcano are capable of magic. Some of them
Diego,
are
have you ever fought a moose before?
No.
They will
That
fuck
mo-
you up.
Yeah,
That moose is larger than a horse.
Giovanni
Misa.
shrinks a little bit from Agenet's reprimand.
That moose is larger than a horse, and again, let's be very clear. Some of the beasts on this mountain are better at magic than we are, as well as being larger, faster, stronger, and sometimes smarter.
And I make an intelligence check because you've had it described to you pretty thoroughly. Perhaps you know what this is because you've lived here long enough.
And 19.
Yeah, 19 from his description. It's a creature they call a kaibadir, like a kaibadir, and it's not a guardian per se, but it is the main food source for one of the creatures that sort of stalks the mountainside.
Each itself is probably not very dangerous. It is hunted by things that are incredibly dangerous.
Oh, can we move on? It's just a beautiful creature. I thought it was interesting.
No. It was good to point out. I'm just explaining to Geos that if we were to start carrying that around, it may catch our attention. We do not want.
I like it.
Well, it will probably be eaten soon. Which is good. It
I
feeds
don't mind it being eaten. I just like it.
it feeds the life cycle of the island.
All right, but you continue on your path. Travel past mile marker 4. Keep going. At around mile marker 10, I mean it's been you're walking uphill for miles and miles and miles. It's kind of started to wear on you. It's not quite sundown, but it is like you kind of get the scope of how long this is going to take.
And what is the scope of how long this is going to take?
You've been told that it is an 80-mile journey.
Ah, I see.
80 miles.
Correct.
Days and days.
Oh, Jeebus.
I think Giovanni would do a quick rations check. How are we looking for an 80-day journey?
I think Bravo probably was aware, and there are rations being stored at the manor. So feasibly, you have enough.
Okay.
Yeah, no, Bravo is just going on a trip all the way up that he used to do in his childhood.
Make an investigation check for me, Gio, as you're kind of going through the rations. Gio. Investigation?
I'll give it a shot. 5.
Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't hear the investigation call out.
No,
till the
this is
second
just
one.
for Geo going through the pack. As you
Right.
look through, the labels on a few of these rations are different. They have a DS on them.
All right. Which one of you is playing a joke? We labeled these rations.
So
We turn to
I think
Phil
that
when
is
you
dragon
say
salt.
joke.
Dragon salt, the spice.
This isn't this whole thing. This whole thing is dragon salt. I'll pop open some of it.
I mean, there's
Probably.
food on the inside, but you do get a whiff of kind of the dragon salt smell to it.
Okay, I'll pack it back up. Okay, false alarm. I thought it was something else.
So it's labeled like stuff that has dragon salt and stuff that does not have dragon salt.
Yes.
Right.
Conspiracy was almost afoot.
My conspiracy. Sorry. So my conspiracy was Dios Avantes. Why I was like, oh, it's not that. It's just dragon salt.
All right. But you continue on your journey up the mountain. At about mile mark, we'll say 20, it is like getting real dark. Everyone's real tired.
All right, it's time for us to settle down.
Bravo, you're aware that most food has to be stored like up at the top of a tree because it keeps
Are there
stuff from
trees
going.
around us?
Yeah, there's still jungle trees.
All right. As Jeanette, you are the tallest, so you get the honors.
All right. I put it on top of a tree. I eat it on over.
Yeet.
Well, a tie a rope. And
Yeah,
then
tie
you bring
rope.
the-
I throw it over, and then I hold onto the rope. I've done this before.
Okay.
Or just throw our rations up into a tree.
I am used to. I've heard of calling it a bear bag because you do it to avoid bears. What do we call this bag here?
Volcano bag?
Volcano bag? Well, the volcano is not going to creep up and go after it.
DM, what
Would
is...
the volcano come out?
Well, yes, I mean, possibly, but... DM, what is the example magical beast which might predate upon Geo or our food?
Kelly, you were muted when you spoke just then. I think.
I'll say
Would the
since
I hope the volcano comes down.
Yes.
yeah, so you got a 19 on the intelligence check earlier. You know that there's a creature called a Kelodon. It eats the Kybadirs. It's almost lizard-like. It's got two very large legs and then sort of some smaller arms. Heavily armored plate, massive jaw.
Is a Caledon bag. It will not stop them from eating it, but it will mean they eat it instead of us. If it comes, then we let it eat our food and we run. That is the plan.
I see.
You'll know if it comes because it is huge and has many teeth.
But you settle in for the night, trying to find a way to sleep in this possibly unsettling area with the slightly sort of not flat terrain. Load yourselves up as well as possible to do you make a campfire for the night.
Still does not.
Yeah,
Yes,
I-
I make.
we
Yeah,
make a campfire. There are fires and other things abound.
All right. Still is going to sleep in the tree next to the bear bag, next to the Kelodon bag.
Sure.
Okay. So you are making yourself the first meeting.
Ostensibly, if he can't get the bag, he can't get me.
Oh, no,
That's
they can
true.
absolutely get the bag.
If he wants to sleep by the bag, let him sleep by the bag.
Okay.
Makes me feel safer to be up higher. That's all.
Okay.
If they can get to the bag, what was the purpose of it?
so that it goes for the bag and not us. The point is so that we are not part of the target.
After a moment of staring at each other, Syl shimmies up the tree.
Okay.
Before everyone finds a tent to sleep in.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like there's not a watch going on.
There's gonna be a watch.
Yeah.
I'll take morning.
Okay.
I'll take second watch.
Is that Dark Watch?
Yes.
I'll wake up with Geo.
I'll take first.
I don't know these dark and morning watches.
I will meditate upon things.
Yeah, essentially what they're saying is there is whatever 8 hours of sleep, so it's split into like 2.5-hour sections.
Yeah, I'll take first watch.
Right. Grims will watch with him.
All right.
Bravo's there meditating, noting down journal about what he sees around the volcano.
Grims is just staring at him intently.
That's fine.
Still strumming a little song.
You get a really good view of Bravo's tattoos. Isn't still asleep for our watch?
Oh, this is the first watch? I thought
He
it was
does it
the
in
day
his
before
sleep,
watch.
don't worry.
Yeah. So for those on second watch, could I get perception checks?
Yes.
Yes. Can I give him an assist? Or is that not how that works? I guess it doesn't really matter because he doesn't add anything to his either. So
My
I'll
brother.
just roll.
I need to break you two up.
Yeah. So both of you hear this. You're not really sure the source, but at some point in the night, you just hear like a distant
As long as it's still distance.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're hearing, like, I don't know, like 1,700 pounds of mass moving our way.
Yeah, we're like.
I mean, like you hear
On the
at
train.
some point a tree get felled. And the... But it all seems somewhat distant. It doesn't seem to be getting louder.
I guess that that when a tree falls in a forest, nobody's around, it does make a sound.
Whatever, Seal. Just sort of listening to monsters in the distance.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But without other activities, the night passes without much strife. And the morning would come. You all pack up your stuff, prepared for another day of walking uphill.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling our calves are gonna hurt real bad after this.
Perhaps? I'm very light. Anyway,
Yes, I can see. I say, looking at Bravo floating a few inches off the ground.
But you continue moving that day.
Yep.
if you imagine, my sister and I did this journey without the process of being cleared for it. We did it a bit of an escape. It's an adventure early in.
you're able to make your way up. It's, another kind of grueling mile after mile after mile. At some point, you're not sure if the markers are helping your mind state or hurting it, as it's like, oh my gosh, is it only 27? As you're sort of like climbing further and further. About mile marker 33, there's a series of like whispers that just seem to like flow around all of you. Just nothing particularly being said, but just the just sort of flows around you.
Yes, yes, yes. I know. I am
Knowledge Arcana?
beautiful.
Sure.
How is this?
All right, we have a 17 coming in.
Okay, so you are aware that further up the mountain there is the Whisper Beast. It's said to be potentially the most frightening of the guardians of the volcano, but is also the most shy. You think you've definitely entered the territory at this point.
All right, I'll hold up a fist. All right. So, we should be very clear. There is something called the Whisper. It's the most fearsome and most feared guardian of the volcano. However, it normally does not bother. We will move until we are out of its territory, and it does not matter if they exhaust us. We will continue moving until we are out of its territory.
Is it like music?
No. What we should do is we should try to not bother it, not interest it, do nothing to force interaction, and merely leave. That is the mission.
All right.
I'll
So
even say with a 17, you know that if you can start to distinguish words from it, that it is close.
Alright, and also, let whispering me here. If you can start distinguishing the words, then it's very close, and I will be very exact. Geo, we have no chance against this beast.
I see. We will simply walk through its territory.
Exactly. Normally, after you just pass through, you are fine. It does not normally enjoy interaction, so we should just be able
Makes
to
me
walk.
ask why people would make the journey. There's things up here that even experienced adventurers can't deal with.
Sister and I made this journey as children.
Yeah, but why? And Sil just doesn't say anything else for a while after that.
I pull out the necklace with the shard. Well, this is why.
For jewelry?
No, it's what the jewelry means. If you walk back with a shard of the volcano, then the volcano kind of looked upon you, looked inside you, and found you not worth killing. It is proof of something.
Proof that you're not worth killing.
Is the whispering beast intelligent?
Some say it is. I believe it probably is. I have not met one.
You can think of the most outstanding if you take a survival course or something, they'll tell you about what to do if a bear sees you. As far as your knowledge of this, you know that it doesn't like loud noises and sort of deals prejudicially against things that are loud. So,
all right, Sil.
We all look to Sil.
Sil. Sil. Please, I beg. For just the territory is this beast. No loud noise. That is all I beg. Just the territory is this beast.
Sil just gives you a thumbs up, and is now sprinting across the path.
Yeah, Giovanni, is there an area where there's like loose sand or silt?
Sure, yeah. There's sandy areas.
Giovanni will scratch a poem into the sand just in case the Whisper Beast can read and does come by.
Okay, tell me about this poem.
See the spirits lifting, drifting upon the wind, their bodies left behind. Echoing screams still remain heavy on the breeze and whisper through the trees.
So, I mean, you take a minute to sort of scratch that out.
Mm-hmm.
But after that point,
What
you
if I-
continue on quietly.
Yep.
I would like a group stealth check.
Gotcha.
Oh, yeah.
It is a disadvantage, but you know.
Oh, okay. I thought you were rolling at advantage. I was like, wow, how?
I am in nature.
24 for me. Grimace?
I am not sprinting, by the way. Bravo, knowing what he does about this thing, is just walking slowly and carefully.
You guys lose sight of Grimace. Like,
You lose sight of Grimace. You hear that Brave was kind of crunching a little bit, and like you have the time to take like banana leaves and place them underneath his feet as he steps to keep him just a little bit quieter.
Still is also disappeared.
Yeah, Syl is also quite stealthy. You can occasionally see him flitting back and forth, but like kind of in the shadow of the shade of the trees. It's like Grimace is but a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Bravo is like sometimes he has to force himself to stay quiet. Otherwise, he'd be telling stories about him and his sister's trek up.
He just poofs.
So with the group of you moving as quietly as you do, there is like a brief moment where Geo creeping around sort of looks off to the left, and you see a bear that seems to have not noticed the group of you, but is like, you know, kind of a clearing away and seems to be starting to sniff around.
Yeah. Don't do it, man. Don't do it. Man.
You're muted, so I don't
Sorry.
even hear your voices whispering.
Do I hear voices whispering? Do I hear voices in the whispering?
No, I mean, there are voices in it, but you're not hearing any clear words. It's
I'm
again
not
just
hearing
kind of
anything clear word. Okay. So I need to be quiet. Hold up a fist to the group. Kind of move to form together as a pack, but I'm not going after the bear. I'm electing not to do combat with the bear. If the bear attacks, we'll deal with it.
Okay. But you continue moving. That was about 33 is when you started to hear the whispers. It's getting pretty late, around like mile marker 38 or 39. But sort of off in the distance, you would hear like it's like some sort of like bear snarling sound. Seems to be a bit off, but you do hear that.
Are we still hearing the whispering?
You are.
Concerned for bear.
We should go.
Phil and Grimace are probably still moving.
Yeah.
Where I'm out.
Yeah, it's
know
getting to
that-
be pretty dark. It's like nighttime. But
Yeah, still, if the bear is the bear's drawn. The bear has opted for death.
Yeah, so traveling forth, I mean, there's a moment around mile 39 where you hear like a sort of sound echoing. A couple of you kind of
No!
cringe a little bit.
And that would be the best.
But now it's about mile marker 40, and you are tired. You can
The
still hear
whispering
the
is still going
whispers.
on. Oh god.
I think
I think we gotta keep moving. We gotta push through it tonight.
No, I think we go to sleep. Just we be very quiet.
No
Fire
campfire. Then
We can't do a fire. If we
No
sleep
fire.
here,
no fire. We'll be climbing the trees. All of us.
No, guys. I think no watch either. We just go to sleep.
But what
Yeah.
if the whispers become words?
Danny,
Oh no.
peacefully.
Best for us to be asleep.
Guys, here's the thing. Somebody's gonna have to like put a rag in my mouth or something, because I sort of just instinctively sing the wake up song when I wake up. You might have to bind and gag me for the night.
I will do it.
What a burden!
with a heavy heart, Giovanni will gag Syl.
Okay, and is it a no watch night? That kind of seemed like what it was going to be.
Yeah.
Okay, so everyone attempts to go to sleep. It is, it's difficult to sleep with sort of constant whispering in your ears. You don't have like the hot breath element of someone doing it, but it's like just the whispers on the wind is like a little yuck. But eventually you all manage to drift off. Still, it's a little harder because like you got like spit coming out of your mouth because your mouth's not closed because you're gagged.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's you imagine this is how Thatcher Creed sleeps most nights.
All right. God,
But
he's such a fucking creep.
But eventually you're able to fall asleep. Trying to think. I think Aginette's passive perception is the highest. Oh, Discord. Thank you for crashing, Discord. Oh, how I appreciate it.
Discord just sends a message. You're welcome.
Discord's like, get fucked, idiot. There we are. Perfect. Oh, my camera. Perfect. So I think Aginette's passive perception is the highest. It's about 3 a.m, and you're just awakened to like a bit of an annoying buzz. And you're just hearing like something in verse being repeated. Like it's almost poetic in nature, but it's like the man walked up the mountain, and what is it that he found? And there's like a bit of a pause.
I shove the nearest person awake.
What?
I just stare at Bravo in the eyes.
Walking to the caldera, where lava is the ground.
I quietly look around. I don't say anything. I don't shout. Just look down.
Okay, make a perception check.
Bird up in the tree.
I
and
help.
also make a perception
I help.
or chill.
Okay.
Either way. A 13.
13. So it takes you a moment to like really scan the forest line. The voice will continue. And what, to my surprise, does his prying eyes find? And then there's like a moment that like your eyes lock with something in the underbrush, sort of like glowing yellowness, and oddly sort of extending from a bush is this large hand just picking a flower from a nearby bush before sort of pulling its hand back. Its hands are kind of like thin, very, very long fingers. Just sort of reaches through, grabs it. Group of wandering travelers who are going to lose their mind. And then you would hear it like kind of.
I will not try to say anything to it. I will. It's coming closer.
It's sort of circling.
Okay. My bird is an owl, so it can glide very. It's like based on an owl, so it can glide very silently. I'll have it glide down to me. It will take some of the fine, like wine, a little vial of that nice kind of wine I carry. It will fly it out to the other edge of the tree line and fly back to the camp. No words, nothing said. I'm just flying an offering over to it and hoping it likes gifts.
Okay. So you would sort of fly it over. Are you looking through the bird's eyes or not?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, it's
Partially just for that dark vision.
as you like start to get closer, you see this thing. It's like squat walking. You imagine it's probably 14 feet tall, maybe more. It's wearing like rags of some kind. Its arms are way too long. And again, its fingers are very long. It seems to have placed a flower in its sort of long, bedraggled hair that it just pulled from this bush. But it has like very ominous fangs and its eyes sort of glow this yellow. But
Okay.
as your bird flies up, it would sort of reach out and pluck the. You said it was like a cask of wine.
Like a small, well, a small bottle of wine.
Flask, like
You'd see it would take it and like sort of put the strap that you would normally like tie to your belt like around one of its fingers or two of its fingers. And they would start to like squat walk off. Aginette, and you would hear a renaissance of pleasure, a renaissance of pain, a renaissance for the abled, and a renaissance for the lame. And it would just sort of like disappear further into the forest as the whispers once again return, this time vaguer.
Jeanette nods approval.
Horrors. Horror.
Nice. Laying his back down slowly.
And as you go back to sleep on a potentially not restful night, I think it's a good place to end the session there.
No. Tired flexing just joined.
He's been here for a bit, but yeah. Yeah, so we'll be around next week, same
Yep.
time.
Right.
And Hope to see you then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Later.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.